All right, Phase 4, light side Geo TB. I really wanted to give you guys a good clip on Jedi Luke, but I had to donate my Jedi Knight Revan, so that sucked. Um, but whatever. I don't even know how many stars we're gonna get. Like somewhere in the mid-20s. It is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all of the fathers. And yeah, this is actually my first Father's Day without my father, so that kind of sucks. But unfortunately, that is the way of the world. But we're not going to get too heavy in here for now. I'll save that for myself later on. So everyone have a good Sunday. Hopefully you can enjoy it with your families while still trying to be at least moderately socially distant, which is not easy or fun, but at least hopefully everyone can get together with everybody else. Yeah, so light side TB still sucks, phase 4 especially. Again, I had to donate my Jedi Knight Revan, so I didn't even get to get my Luke's full potential, but he is a very, very, very strong character in light side TB. If I hadn't split into 3 Jedi teams in phase 3, I think I would have had much better overall results, and or if I didn't have to donate my Jedi Knight Revan in phase 4, but it is what it is. That's what happens when the platoons are very, very, very expensive. But then the flip side of it is if you don't platoon, then you're not going to win anyway. So catch 22 here in phase 4 light side TB. I will be putting out a Jedi Knight Luke arena video. Again, I was hoping to at least add a very nice TB clip in there to show at least some of his versatility, both in arena, PvP, and PvE, but that will have to wait. I also did want to see if I could figure out something in the raid that would be fun and interesting. But as good as he is and as good as Jedi are with him, it still doesn't yield better results than the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren solo team, as it were. But if you want to put shit on auto, as so many of us often do, then yeah, at least in phase 2, you could throw Jedi Knight Revan, Gas, Jedi Luke, Hermit Yoda, +1 in and just auto, like pretty much most, if not all, of phase 2. You could even do that towards the end of phase 1, as long as you don't have to worry about annihilates. If you can take Nihilus out on auto, if there's just, 15% left or 10% left on Nihilus, you could probably do that. But it's a very fun and interesting character. Some people have said or asked, or expressed their frustrations that he cannot beat Galactic Legends. I mean, I wouldn't expect him to, nor do I really want him to. I don't want GLs to be that short of a lived meta. I think that because Luke is, I guess, legendary or hero's journey, whatever he is, he's more powerful than most legendaries, that's for sure. I mean, he can take out Malik pretty easily just by himself, basically. Certainly Chewie. I mean, the other legendaries are good. Luke is much better. So Luke is somewhere in between the legendaries and the Galactic Legends, which I think is an appropriate level for him to be. I would not be surprised if at some point down the road we get a galactic legend Luke. I kind of hope it isn't old fart Luke, but it may very well be. And if it is old fart Luke, I certainly would want him to be akin to more of a Wat Tambor, Hermit Yoda passive tune in there. I don't know how likely that is, but I think logically, if they do make another Luke, he will be a galactic legendary, and he should be like a passive character, or he may even have like his force shade move where he like taunts, but it's not actually him. I don't know, but then he dies after. I don't know. Who knows? We have plenty of time to speculate on what he could look like and what the kid could look like. But I think if we do get a Luke on top of Jedi Knight Luke, that would probably be the one. Yeah, so it's going to be, I would assume, status quo for a little bit until we get the road ahead, which apparently is meant to be sometime this month. I think I recorded a video right when I woke up and I saw something else, and I was mistaken, so I'm issuing a retraction on that. Supposedly, the road ahead is still meant to be this month, although, I mean, there's really only a week and change left for it, so hopefully we'll get it soon. Yeah, hopefully we will get it soon. I don't expect a whole lot from it, honestly. I would like to know what the raid is, if there is a raid, and if so, when it is coming out. Again, I and many others have speculated a Death Star raid, whether it's Death Star 1 or Death Star 2. I really don't care. I just want something. Yeah, because Gak is getting tired. TW is very tired. TB is frustrating. I wouldn't say I'm tired of it yet. I really like Darkside Geo TB because it is, at least for me, an appropriate level of difficulty. Lightside TB is still a little fucking nuts. But what are you gonna do? Yeah, so I'm hoping for a new Death Star or ship raid. I mean, they basically confirmed it was a ship raid, I think. So I'm hoping it's Death Star. Not really sure what else they could be looking at. I do think they might do a Battle of Endor raid in the future, and I mentioned that in one of my last videos. I think that would be really fun, except for the fact that you would have to G13 your Ewoks, which is not exactly where I want to allocate my resources. Although if you watch my GAC that I did, quote unquote, physically yesterday, but have yet to do the voiceover for, you will see why G13 Ewoks could be very, very helpful in GAC, if nothing else. They used to be great in GAC before G13, but unless you're a super mega Kraken, I don't think you have Ewoks G13'd, or unless you're just a huge Ewok fanboy, which is fine. I'm not going to judge. Yeah, you probably don't have G13 Ewoks. G13 Imperial Troopers could also be really helpful in GAC. I feel like those are a little bit more common than G13 Ewoks. I do not. All my troopers and Ewoks are G12 with the exception of Death Trooper. I'm not even sure why I G13 Death Trooper. It may have been for the Reaper at one point when I wanted to try some sort of an Empire team with Emperor Shuttle. I honestly don't know. Or maybe I wanted to try Reaper because of the capital ship turn meter reduction. But I really don't remember. Actually, Shore Trooper, I have G13, but I never use Shore Trooper with Imperial Troopers. I always use him with Palpatine or someone else. So yeah, that's where I'm at. How are you? You okay? You guys all good? You guys surviving, hopefully? Yeah, not much else to report, honestly. Luke has been fun. Been testing with him a lot. Like I said, I'm going to put that video out. I'm not going to put out all my failed attempts because there are a lot. Because again, as great as he is, he can't take on GLs by himself without, several other meta tunes in with him, whether he's under Ray or with Ray or with JKR and Gas. There are some variants that do work against GLs, but from what I have found, a Luke-centered team without JKR and or Gas is menza against GLs. Yeah, so I think GLs are an appropriate level of toughness. My shard is not like some of the other shards, because I know that some of the other shards literally have like 10 or 15 TI, Caw, and Maw in them, which is aggressive. Mine is not. We all get along. We're pretty good, but we don't have a whole lot of super mega Krakens on my shard. There are a number of guys with GLs, but we don't have like a super mega. I think I'm the biggest guy on my shard by at least 1 million GP or somewhere close to that. So yeah, I'll put that video out eventually. Not gonna get around to it today, maybe tonight, and then I'll put it out tomorrow for Monday. But again, I was really hoping to get some good Luke footage from TB to throw in there, and obviously it didn't really work. I also had to donate my JTR, which sucked, so I'm not really sure who to put fifth here. Also, this Ray battle goes exceedingly poorly, and then I use CLS to much greater effect, which is kind of ridiculous. I don't like the droids with Ray, certainly not in Geo TB, because there's so many B2s just stripping buffs anyway. And everybody's going before me here, even though my Ray's speed is in the 500s. So that gives you an idea of just how fast these enemies are, which is also stupid. But whatever, it's the hand we've been dealt. Yeah. New York City is going into phase 2 reopening tomorrow, so fingers crossed, knock on wood, things go okay. I do think generally New York City and New York State are and have been a little bit more careful than a lot of other parts of the country. Yes, we were a little bit late to the game, in fairness, but I think that we have improved, honestly, at a greater rate than much of the rest of the country in terms of our compliance, in terms of our, I guess, proactive or prophylactic actions in Corona. I do know that a lot of the hospitals are still keeping wings open on standby for recurrences after this phase 2 opening, but our numbers are down dramatically, which is very, 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 very good. I think Bella's hospital has fewer than 10 Corona patients right now, and she had a one time, not one time, but they had a fairly consistent, actually high during the height of the pandemic here in the city. They had no fewer than 350 corona patients at any given time in her hospital, and now they're down to fewer than 10. So that's very, very good and encouraging. I know that that is not going to be the same across the country, but I do think that if we can do it, that anybody else can do it if they follow procedure and protocol for social distancing and wearing masks and what have you. Because let's be real, this was really the primary epicenter of the virus in the United States. And we are a major transportation hub internationally. We are a major transportation hub domestically from upstate Connecticut, Jersey, D.C., Boston. We're also one of the most diverse cities in the country. A lot of multiculturalism, which is a good thing, but it also means that a lot of people travel here from other states, countries, continents, which is partly, I think, why we had such a high rate of infection. I think the only other place that really rivals us in terms of that kind of both domestic and international traffic would be Los Angeles County, or I guess the greater LA area. And they are having a little bit of a spike right now, so everybody, if you're in LA or in that area, Southern Cali area, hang tough. But look, if New York, like Sinatra said, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, right? So if we can do it here, that is controlling the virus, then you can control the virus anywhere. You just have to have the resolve and discipline to do things right so that you can get rid of, or at least control and contain the virus as much as possible. But you can really only be responsible for yourself. So everyone that's watching or listening or whatever, hang tough, follow rules. Don't be afraid to call someone out if they're being an asshole. If people are purposefully, disobeying or ignoring rules set in place by your city, town, county, state, whatever, call them out. Call them out for being a shitbag, because, people refusing to obey recommended procedures in terms of personal hygiene and mask wearing and what social distancing and what have you. I mean, look, they may not have the virus, they may not give anyone the virus, but the chances of them doing so are greatly increased by not wearing PPE, by not social distancing, and just remind them that there's in any disease, there are always such things as asymptomatic carriers. So everyone, hang tough and hang tight.